Hi guys, welcome back to another Matchbox Garage video. I'm Rob, and today I shall be attempting to take this Ford Zodiac Mark IV from very shabby to shiny. Now this is a commission for a Mr. Stephen Manclark, who has been watching my videos and sent me an email and said, Rob, I love what you do, mate. Can I have one for myself? And of course I said, sure, what is it you're looking for? And he said, well, here's a few different castings that I like. I'm looking for something that's, like a restoration plus, but at the same time, I really like those chameleon flip colours that you're doing. And he mentioned a few kind of castings or a few vehicles. And this Mark IV, this is the one that I think I was ready to do this one today. And I really enjoyed this one. And hopefully you guys too. But anyway, we'll start by drilling down the centre of the post, just one on this car. Remove that flange and tap the hole. Please do remember to lubricate the end of your piece. And today we'll be helped with a pint of cider. It's actually Christmas Day evening. My wife and children, they've kind of had their fill, and they're having an early night, and hey, why not just come up here and, have a bit of fun. But anyway, underneath there, as you can see, it does read, Made in England by Lesney, Matchbox Series number 53, Ford Zodiac Mark IV. So taking it apart, we've got a bent axle, but that's relatively easy to rectify. Just bend that back in. And then the interior here with this little suspension piece here that keeps it nice and bouncy and lovely and jubbly. But those will get cleaned up. Same with this little engine piece here. Nicely chrome, spare wheel intact. And that'll be getting a clean up treatment later on as well. Little piece of the window section here. Now unfortunately I've been kind of throwing out these windows because obviously they're just unusable, but actually I'm not going to throw this one out. I'm going to try and remember to keep these going forward for a, I don't know, maybe a diorama later on, with some broken cars or junkyard or whatever. But anyway, this one is missing the bonnet here today. Now I do have, or I had, 4 of these castings, all in terrible shape, but amongst them I thought, I can obviously put together something today. Now I'm going to be quiet for a second. And I wonder whether you could hear some goings on with this glass. Basically, I had just washed it out. And what I didn't think about is that I just washed it out with cold water. And then I've just poured in boiling water. And of course, glass contracts and so on. And I was very concerned that this was just about to explode on me. And I normally swish it around. But yeah, I thought I'm going to put that into that used ice cream tub and just leave it be. And whilst that was to one side, of course I'm cleaning up the interior pieces here. And that interior there, from certainly very shabby to shiny, all of these pieces, good as new, and will be going back in. Now out of the 4 castings, there you go, 1, 2, 3, 4, I had one glass section that was intact until I took it all apart and realised there's a crack in the back of this car, and I was a bit gutted, but I had a solution, I had a backup. Now I have to apologise to my friend George, because he loves this little, what we call the, fondly call the baby poo colour Zodiac that I done probably 6+ months ago now, but this, I still have in my collection. And I'm going to take it apart, and we're going to be, beg, borrow, steal the window section from my own car here that I have on display, and we're going to switch it out for this other. And yeah, it does have the little crack in the back there, but you know, for a commission, if I have to use my own parts, then so be it. You know, I'll obviously and probably get decent kind of window sections, and I can replace it again down the line, so there's no problem there. But yeah, so what I showed, or what I didn't show rather, is just bending that axle back straight, and as you can see, it runs true again. You know, just using the pliers there for a second, not a problem. And then what I tried to do was remove the bonnet from one of my other cars to fit into the one in the thumbnail, and I managed to snap it, and I only had one casting left with a decent bonnet, and I thought, I can't break this one as well. So I've actually, and I hope you forgive me, I've switched out the body of the car here for one with a bonnet intact. And yeah, so we're going to be going forward here. Like I said, all of them were in all of the same kind of bashed up, rough condition. So, you know, I certainly don't feel bad for replacing with this one in good condition, usable with a bonnet intact. But anyway, moving on, we're going to just polish up the roof section here. And my little tack life tool there, no problems, and I shall continue on the rest of the casting and including the base. So here it is, probably about 15-20 minutes of just buffing out this this casting here, and we'll be going with my Tamiya fine surface primer. And I only wanted to do a thin coat, which was, well, just as well. Coming to the end of the life of this can of Tamiya fine surface primer, and it had just enough paint in it to keep me happy to cover this casting today. So that will be popped into the bin, and here we have the main casting there. Beautiful. That will dry off to one side, and I've done a mix of some clear, Tamiya clear, with a little drop of black paint, and I'll use this as like a wheel wash over these tyres. Stephen wanted the original wheels on this casting, and they were in good condition, but they just kind of faded off over the years, bearing in mind this is probably some 50 plus years old. And there you are, compared the unpainted to painted, and I think you'll agree that looks pretty good. Now we got the gloss black from the pound shop or dollar store. This is nice, quick and easy, just to put a layer of gloss black on this casting, ready for the Chameleon paint. Of course, we've tried it with silver paint before, and it just didn't really work for me. I guess it gave a different finish, but the gloss black is what you should be doing. And I recently, on the last video, done an ambulance using this same paint but in white, just to prove that you don't need a load of money or expensive equipment to get good finishes on these cars. And you know, it did look good in black. But anyway, we're using Evil Forest from Green Stuff World. This is the colour shift metal paint that they kindly sent me for free for review. And like I say, Stephen had seen a couple of recent videos and said, I fancy one of those for my car. If you can do that, please do. But yeah, you can see that it's green there in the cup, And these colour shift paints, they do confuse me. You know, I'm seeing green paint in the cup. I'm seeing green paint come out. Albeit very fine, of course. But as I'm covering this casting, you can see very well that it's like a purple that's hitting the car here. And this is just the first of 3 coats that I put over the gloss black. But anyway, it's the following day. So there's the interior, looking nice and clean. And you've got these other bits here that are all cleaned up, ready to go back in. Of course, we got the shiny windscreen from the other car. I've started to add some details here in the headlights and the front indicators. And in the back, similar to the other one and to the real car. The other car has a yellow rear number plate, but this one has a black one. And you can see the details there still. And quite easily read all the registration. And here is hitting it up with clear. Now this video is a day later than it should have been. The reason being is because it wasn't shiny enough, and I actually done another load of clear coat on that. But anyway, you know, I've put a lot of time, effort into these cars, and I want it to be as good as I can do it. So if it's another day late, then so be it. But anyway, here we are. You could see the colour change there. When it's side on, it's very purple. You can see some extra details now in those door handles. But as you look at that, as it kind of turns away there, you can see that it turns into that evil greenish colour. And you can read the registration there, LYX 549F. Kind of back painted it in black and then scraped off to show the metal coming through. A little bit of chrome on those end axles as well. But yeah, look at the colour shift from the purple into that green. But anyway, I just want to thank my patrons, including brand new patron Rob Merritt. And thanks you guys for watching. Hopefully, Stephen, you like it, sir. And it'll be coming to you shortly. Cheers, guys.